I saw a thumbnail the other day where it was like, it really is them damn phones. And it prompted up the inspiration for this video because I'm like, it really is them damn phones that's keeping people away from the life that they want. Like, it really is them damn phones. And I didn't watch the video yet. I'm going to watch it, but I saw it going viral. And I was just like, people are relating to this because there's this deep inner yearning to free ourselves from the shackles of technology, the technology addiction, not necessarily technology, because I believe that, technology has advanced so much in the last few years and it is amazing, right? It allows us to have access to all sorts of information that, our ancestors, our parents did not have access to. But it's a double-edged sword because yes, we have access to so much information, but we have access to so much information. And the reason why that's not always great is because how do we sort through the noise? And when we have access to so much information, we're in this process of learning, and not implementing. There's no implementation. And that's where a lot of your problems are, is that you have everything that you need to create the life that you love, or not, or to align with the life that you love, because the life that you want it exists already in the ether, in infinite potentiality. It's just about aligning with that reality. And the reason why you can align with it is because you're not doing the work. Like, plain and simple, you're not doing the work because you're extremely distracted. And what are you distracted by? Your phone and social media and technology in general, because maybe you just watch too much TV, maybe you play the game too much. You're just always plugged into these systems that you don't plug into your own system. And when you are plugging into your own system, it's very lackluster. Like, you're not putting in as much work as you could. You're not as dedicated as you could be because you just have a monkey brain, the monkey mind. It's just, or the squirrel mind. I just saw a squirrel. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? There's really no focus. You have not trained your focus muscle. Cell phone addiction is just as harmful as any other addiction, believe it or not, because it's messing with those same receptors in the brain. Our dopamine center, right? We are constantly triggering it, which is the reward center in the brain. And we're literally doing pretty much nothing but opening our phones. And so we're getting rewarded for very minimal behavior, which is why it's difficult to exert effort to sit in that zone of, what is it? Like, not short, delayed gratification, right? It's really difficult to sit in delayed gratification because we're so used to be getting gratified for little to nothing. So that's why cell phone addiction is so harmful. And that's why social media is harmful, because you're just scrolling on your page. The algorithm is feeding you exactly what it knows that you want. So it's like encouraging you to stay on the app and to continue to feed yourself with this information. And you, like, your dopamine receptors is just fried, completely fried. And it's the same feeling that you get from taking a hit of like crack cocaine. And I know it's not as extreme, but the same process is happening. And that's extremely, y'all, I'm pretty sure some of y'all know some crackheads or some meth heads or some fentanyl. I don't even know if I could be saying all these drugs. I'm not promoting drug use. I'm just saying, like, we see what drugs do to people. And even though cell phone addiction, it doesn't have the consequences, like as harmful consequences as, hard drugs, it's still an addiction nonetheless. And it's still keeping you, blocking you from the life that you could be living if you just align with that aspect of yourself, but you can't focus long enough to get there. It's extremely addicting, and especially when you are on this journey of spiritual development, right? Self-development, but particularly with spirituality, I know a lot of you are on this spiritual journey towards becoming more enlightened. So it's not just about manifesting your ideal reality. It's about, like, why am I able to do that? Like, how can I access that part of myself that is creating all of this? And which is called enlightenment. And the reason, and if you think about, like, how difficult, how much of a feat this has been for thousands of years for humanity to become enlightened, to break free from the matrix, to break free from the constructs, it's been very difficult. And this was before technology. So imagine how much more difficult it is now when you have a literal gadget with you at all times that is demanding your attention, taking your attention from within to the phone. Like, so it's going to be even more difficult for you to reach this state of like enlightenment, to go beyond the self. It's going to be difficult. So it's just important to really prioritize taking a break. And that's what I want this video to serve as a nudge, as an encouragement to take a dopamine detox, to take a break from your phone, from your social media, and only use them with intention. And I forgot, I didn't even give my spiel. I'm Beyond Taylor, and I am here to help you go beyond your self-imposed limitations. And before we get started, I want to mention that the Trigger Journal is out. So make sure you guys can buy the physical copy or the digital copy down below, or you can get the digital copy included inside of the Beyond Collective membership. So if you are interested in connecting with like-minded individuals, masterminding about how to tap into your creativity and get paid for being you, then sign up for the Beyond Collective down below, where we have weekly coaching calls, and again, you get access to the Trigger Journal and so much more resources and information. So if you're interested in that, link is down below. So what we are going to be talking about today is, one, how to change your relationship to your phone and social media, how taking a dopamine detox is going to benefit your nervous system so much, right? It's really going to help you regulate your nervous system. And 3, how to use the Beyond Self system, which is my system, to break free from your dopamine addiction, from your phone addiction, and to really align with the life that you desire. Part 1, how to change your relationship to your phone and social media. And this is all going to be about creativity. Y'all know I'm huge with creativity. That's what I work with my clients with. That's what we talk about in the Beyond Collective. I love working with creatives, any type of art form, right? Whether it's poetry, music, dance, creating content. There's so many different art forms, pottery, whatever you like to do. If you like to bring ideas to life from your mind to your hands, I'm the person you work with. But that's how we're going to change our relationship with social media, is you're going to create more than you consume. And let me share this quote. You use a glass mirror to see your face. You use works of art to see your soul. This is from George Bernard Shaw. And this is so crucial because art is how we express ourselves, right? Art is how we express the true us, the bigger us, the one that's beyond our limitations. And we use art to communicate in ways that we can't, which is why you see most spiritual texts, most philosophical texts, they speak in like allegories. They speak in parables, because our subconscious accepts information not like through a logical this and that. It's through the medium of art, through the medium of chopping language and stringing it in a beautiful poetic way. So that's why art, and your art, is so crucial to this world, so that we don't need more teachers and professors and people to explain these things to us. We want to feel what you have to say. We want to feel your soul, feel your heart. We want to feel that, and you do that through your art. But you're not doing that because you're consuming all the time. So the way that we're going to change our relationship is by creating more than we consume. It's okay to consume for inspiration, to even consume for entertainment sometimes. But if you're consuming majority of the time and you're not creating anything, you are wasting so much potential, and you are wasting the opportunity that you have with social media. We have never been in a time in history to where you can get your art out to as many people as possible all around the world as fast as possible. So you are sitting on a wasted opportunity because you're so distracted and because you're so addicted to just consuming. And consuming makes you feel like you're doing something, right? You know how when you're watching something, a movie, or even something on your phone, your consciousness gets pulled into whatever you're watching, that you can't differentiate yourself from that character, which is why you feel what the character is feeling. And that's just what great artwork does, However, you should be the one that's doing that and not constantly consuming it, because when you're consuming it, you're the one thinking that you're doing all these things. You're the one thinking that, oh, I'm being creative, because you're watching other creatives. It becomes a trap. So it's just important to have that balance. And I wouldn't even really say balance. I would say you should definitely just be creating way more art than you are taking in. So how can you go about doing this? You have to create restrictions for yourself, because like all addictions, it's not as simple as I'm just not going to do it. No, because you have subconsciously created this habit of when you are uncomfortable, you're going to reach for that phone. When you are bored, you're going to reach for that phone. When things are a little too dull, you're going to reach for that phone or some type of technology. So you have to create blockers. I have this app called Zen. I don't remember. I'll put it right here on the screen. But it allows me to interact with social media 5 times a day for 15 minutes each. And I gave my passcode to my boyfriend so that I can't bypass it. So maybe you got to do that. Go to the extremes of giving your passcode, like have somebody else put the passcode in. And maybe you know, if you say I don't talk to anybody, I don't know anybody, like you could find somebody to just say, hey, put the passcode in because I don't want to bypass it. And again, I'll put that app on the screen, and also this app called Dumbify. I'll show you guys a picture of my screensaver. It just makes the phone less appealing. When it's less appealing, we won't reach for it as much. Now, I did great for 4 days. Then I had a slip 2 days in, or I had a relapse. And now I'm back on the bandwagon, but I'm seeing how difficult it is. This is extremely difficult, guys. So I'm right here with you. And in the Beyond Collective, we can hold each other accountable. But this is difficult. But just in a little time that I've done it, it's created a significant shift in like how I'm showing up to doing my work. It's created a significant shift in like my creativity and tapping into this creative realm and getting into the flow state, and my output and how much work I'm able to do, right? I'm writing more, I'm writing poetry, right? Just in a short amount of time. So I would say I've started, or I didn't go cold turkey, but I started a few weeks ago. So now it's just like, okay, now I'm like weaning myself off little by little, but it makes a huge difference. And I feel so much more aligned with my ideal reality because I'm really prioritizing my spiritual work. I'm really putting myself into the state of the wish fulfilled. And when triggers are coming up, I'm not just like, oh, let me go get on my phone and distract myself. It's like, no, I either have to sit with this, or mostly I just sit with my triggers, and that's what the trigger journal will help you do. But it's just completely changed the game when it comes to my spiritual journey. Part 2, we're going to talk about how a dopamine detox is going to help you regulate your nervous system. We all know about regulating your nervous system, right? It's a buzzword. It's actually week 2 of what's in the trigger journal. It's actually the week that we are on in the Beyond Collective. So I'm starting it today. But regulating your nervous system is so crucial. Actually, I'll read something outside of here, what I said. I know you heard all about nervous system regulation. It seems to be a buzzword in the self-development community for good reason. Your nervous system is responsible for your fight or flight response. If you're constantly in a state of stress, anxiety, or worry, you'll be perpetually looking over your shoulder for the next big problem, missing out on countless opportunities. You can't retrain your conscious mind to see the good in life if your entire body is sending signals that everything around you is in chaos. This is why nervous system work is crucial. When you can feel calm and relaxed regardless of the challenges you face, you empower yourself to shift your awareness to the possibilities in the moment, making it easier to find solutions. So that's the point of like regulating our nervous system, because a lot of us and a lot of you've dealt with trauma, a lot of traumatizing instances that got stored in the body. The body keeps scored. It's another book to check out. But these instances get stored in the body. And because of that, it influences the way that we deal with stress, or it influences the way that we just see the world, period. Because of like the traumatic situation that happened, it makes you hyper vigilant for danger. So instead of seeing like how opportunities are boundless and how things are working out for you, your body is hardwired to be on the lookout for potential threats because it wants to protect you. It wants to keep you safe. So it's important to regulate your nervous system, which means to just calm down and to relax yourself so that you stop being so hypervigilant looking for danger. You get out of that fight and flight response and you get into peace, right? And when you're constantly on your phone all the time, it's making you feel like you're doing something about it because it's releasing so much of those feel good chemicals when you're on your phone. So that's why you need to detox from your phone to figure out how to regulate your nervous system without grabbing your phone, without scrolling social media, without the algorithm feeding you what you want. So that way it's much easier to deal with uncomfortable emotions when they arise. It's much easier to find a different way to soothe yourself that's not placing your attention into others' arts, into other creativity, or into dumb shit. Let's be real. It's a lot of dumb shit online. Also, something else to keep in mind is that social media is constantly feeding you information to trigger you. So it's not helping your nervous system, even though it is sending those quick hits of dopamine. It's also wanting to trigger you emotionally. Because when you're emotionally engaged, you're more likely to stay in that situation, which is why people do like rage content, rage bait, because attention is currency. So when you are putting your attention on it, even though you're like, oh my God, this is making me so angry, you're locked in. And that's also creating so much more stress within you. We want to get out of these stress responses and we want to get into calmness, relaxation. And that's how you know when you're in the end. When it's not something that seems so out of reach. You don't have your desires on a pedestal, right? You just feel very calm and relaxed about it because it's normal to you. The same way what you have now, you feel when you think about it, it's a calm, relaxed emotion about it because it's yours. It's normal. We want to get you to feel that way. I want to get you to feel that way about your desired reality. And the best way to do that is, again, I've said it 50 times already, to regulate your nervous system. So what are some ways to regulate your nervous system? EFT tapping. I love EFT tapping. You tap on these energetic points within the body. What are they called? I want to say samsaras. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but these are like energetic storages, sensors within the body that are storing these huge emotional triggers that you had. And you tap on these points because the energy is restricted there, and you allow the energy to flow. Right? So that's the whole point of EFT tapping. You can create a script. I put in a trigger journal, like I gave you guys like a script to put into ChatGPT, where ChatGPT will create an amazing script for you. That's a script that I use. I got from ChatGPT, and it's very specific to like what I'm calling in or what I already have. It's just about aligning with it. Another way to do it is somatic dancing. I love somatic dancing, or just like somatic movement, and tapping into like these different subconscious regions of the brain. I have a meditation in the Beyond Collective. I hella promo because the Beyond Collective is really amazing and powerful. And I know that like it will really help you, and it's already helping so many people that are in it already. And I'll put different testimonials up here so you can see like what's happening in the Beyond Collective. So there's already magic being made. You should become a part of this magic, okay? Breath work is another huge one. Chanting. I just got into chanting because somebody in the Beyond Collective recommended it. Shout out to you, Olivia. So there's like so many ways to regulate your nervous system. It's just about being consistent, showing up and doing it. You got to do it. And being intentional about like why you're doing it, and taking a dopamine detox by using the app blockers. So there's so many different ways to regulate your nervous system. Going on meditative walks, that's something else I've been doing. And it really does shift the way that you respond to stress. It really does shift the way, like how hypervigilant you are of problems. You really start to see opportunities and in relation to your desire. And it's just life-changing, right? You don't respond to stress the same. I know I said that, but I think that's the biggest one, is that, because stressors are going to come up when we are shifting to our ideal reality. That's reflecting our past thoughts. That's reflecting our past selves. And when these stressors come up, most people revert to their old conditioning and respond from that place. But when you have a real like calm within you, an inner peace within you, you are gonna it's like your awareness broadens. So it's like, okay, you see you can react that way, but you also see like, this is another way that I can respond. And this is the way that my ideal self, that myself who is living this life that I'm working towards or that I'm aligning with, this is how they would respond. So then you choose that. So like you just have more choices. Your choices are not so limited when you have a regulated nervous system. So dopamine detox, guys. Dopamine detox. And again, dopamine detox does not just mean like get off your phone. I mean, if you can do that, then do it. Cool. But if you're a creative, if you're somebody who has to be online to post, or you use it for inspiration, it's just about being mindful and intentional and setting up those app blockers. So part 3, we're going to talk about how to use the Beyond Self system to align with your desires and break free from your addiction to your phone. So the Beyond Self system is my unique method and how I help clients and individuals that I work with to align with their ideal reality. And what it is, it's a 3-step system. It involves nervous system regulation, self-inquiry, and subconscious reprogramming. Now, we already talked about nervous system regulation. Self-inquiry is about simply questioning the self. So when you start to question your identity, who you think you are, you're going to start to become more of who you actually are, right? Because who you actually are is the background of all experience, and what we see, what we perceive, is it's you as well, but it's just a picture of you. Like, and this is an example that I give, right, with the TV screen. When we look at a TV screen or your phone screen or your laptop screen, we rarely pay attention to the screen. The screen is just like whatever, it's just there. We care about the images on the screen. We care about what's happening, like with all the different colors, all the different shapes, the storylines. That's what's important to us. And once the TV comes on and it's filled with all of these images and scenes, the screen kind of goes in the background, right? It has a veil over it. And that's what's happening with our experience. This experience is the veil over who we truly are, which is just the TV screen. And the TV screen is always there. And the images would not exist without the screen, right? The images are made out of the TV screen. And you can turn the images off and the screen will still be there. It's infinite, eternal, always present. We just don't pay attention to it. Why would we? We're so interested in the images. We're so interested in the scenes, in the characters. We fall in love with the characters. We fall in love with the storylines, that we completely forget about the screen because the screen is boring. It's nothing going on, right? Which is why we turn the TV on. And the same goes with our experience. It seems as if who we truly are is boring. It's dull. It's nothing going on. But a lot of that has to do with a dysregulated nervous system, which is why that's step 1, is to regulate the nervous system. So that we can fall in love with the boring, with the mundane, with stillness, and we can see how it actually isn't boring. It's actually extremely magical. Like, life is truly magical. Every part of it, every ounce of it, every corner of it. The dullest moments become alive for you when you can fall in love with stillness, when you can fall in love with the silence in between thoughts, when you can fall in love with the screen. So that's the next part, is to remember ourselves as the background, remember ourselves as the perceiver, as the experiencer, and to detach from what we're perceiving and what we're experiencing. And then the last part of it is about reprogramming the subconscious mind. And we do that through visualization, which is my favorite. Affirmations, if that's your thing. Affirmations are cool. I'm not against them. Y'all know how I feel about robotic affirmations. What's another? I mean, there's so many different ways to reprogram the subconscious mind, but I would say that my favorites are definitely acting as if and visualization. And also another way to reprogram the subconscious mind is just doing something over and over and over again and allowing that to become your new unconscious mode. Because I'm not going to get into that video too much here, but we are mostly unconscious. So we want to make sure that we are setting up our subconscious mind to perform for us optimally when we are not in our higher conscious states, which is majority of the time. So that's the whole point of reprogramming the subconscious mind. So you can even reprogram the subconscious mind to become more aware of the screen, more aware of the background, and less aware of the sensations and what changes the impermanence of reality. Right. So that's the whole point of the reprogramming the subconscious mind in the Beyond Self system. And we use this system to become free from our addiction. So nervous system regulation. So I don't need to if I'm uncomfortable, I don't need to reach for my phone. I can find comfort in the stillness. Self-inquiry. I'm questioning the self that even just I need to get on my phone. I need to check this email. I need to see what's happening on social media. Who is it that needs to do that? why are you in such an urge to see what's going on online? Why can't, like, what is that? And you really start to like see this. It's just a thought. You start to see that, oh, it's just a thought, and I am the one that's aware of the thought. So there's just so much peace in that. And you become more curious about that than you are about what's happening online. And then you completely change your relationship with what's happening online. And then subconscious reprogramming, you are programming yourself to become more aware of the background experience and less with what's going on. And then you're reprogramming yourself to be the person that you desire to be, right? You visualizing yourself in the end. You're acting as if you're already that person. So that, because reality is just flowing. It's on a course of its own. So now you're just becoming aware of that version, right? You're vibrationally aligning with that version because you're raising your frequency by being calm, steady, and peace, and light, right? These are, we talk about consciousness, the consciousness scale. These are higher levels of consciousness. And when you are in those higher levels of consciousness, you're going to get what you want. So take a detox. It really is them damn phones. You could be so much further in your spiritual practice if you just put it down. You could be so much further in your self-development practice if you just put it down. You could be so much further in your business, making so much more money. Your relationships could be so much better if you just put it down. Okay? That's all I got. Subscribe, like, love you guys, and I'll be talking to you soon. See you in the Beyond Collective.